So guys, Tinubu has already named some of his appointees, like you can see. And don't forget, he told Buhari that he will always knock at Buhari's door, to ask for advice. And like we know, during the election, he said he's going to start where Buhari stopped. Talking about Buhari has been named as the worst president ever Nigeria has ever had. As in, he is the worst president ever. So many people have come out to say that, including Mr. Edward Clark. And you ask me, what are those things that make people call Buhari the worst president ever? When it comes to Buhari's administration, nepotism has been one of, his high points. Buhari was not ashamed, neither was he afraid, to surround himself with his kinsmen and his friends and all that. He put his own personal interest ahead of national interest. He tried to please those that helped him come into power. He tried to give them even sensitive positions. Don't forget, we have somebody like the Minister for Communication who was said to have link with some of these terrorist groups. Although he once came out to renounce it, but I tell you, Buhari's administration has been marred by so many negative happenings in the country. Buhari will be leaving us with heap of debt for Nigerians to pay. There have been a lot of killings during this administration, and above all, Mr. Corruption that Buhari told us he came to fight, finally fought Buhari and won. Buhari's administration has been seen to be one of the most corrupt administration ever, despite him coming into office on the basis of fighting corruption. So guys, let me allow you watch some of the achievements of Buhari as he departs for Kastina today.
BBC special report on President Muhammadu Buhari, 8 years in office, has described both tenures as a legacy of kidnapping, inflation, and debt. Although they say security got better with President Muhammadu Buhari, however, the gains were again eroded by the emergence of equally violent groups in other parts of the country under him as his government ran out of ideas. So part of what they say is that Nigeria's public debts could pass $150 billion this year. When he took over office, it stood at a little over $60 billion. That's double plus. His borrowing spree has drawn warnings from the World Bank that Africa's largest economy was using 96% of its revenue to service debts. Also, it says Mr. Buhari's integrity was also impeached by his frequent medical trips to the UK, despite spending large sums to refurbish a clinic in the presidential villa. Also part of it says that currently 1 in 3 Nigerians who want to work are unable to find a job. Before Mr. Buhari took over office, that figure was less than 1 in 10. The government has blamed a drastic drop in oil prices in its early days, the COVID-19 pandemic, and Russia's war in Ukraine. And finally, as a part we are taking, it says as he leaves office, Mr. Buhari's handling of the Nigerian economy will most likely be remembered for his botched attempt earlier this year at redesigning the local currency, that's Naira. An otherwise rudimentary exercise descended into chaos as scarcity of the new Naira note, which have now almost disappeared, resulted in untold hardship for millions in the country who relied on cash for basic needs. Over to some reactions. Now, Obina is saying that what a scorecard for a president and his party, the APC, that promised change and fighting insecurity and corruption, delivered the exact opposite, including enabling rigging of his successor. Isn't it incredible and very unlikely that a party with such record can be re-elected? And more reaction from Lemon, who says legacy of kidnapping, inflation, debt, fuel subsidies, scam, collapsed Naira, energized corruption, bigotry, nepotism, hypocrisy, fraudulent election, disunity, ethnic cleansing, etc. The bar has never been this low in governance in Nigeria. Also reacting to that is Deep Fake, who says despite his shortcomings, he still stands among the very best that had the interest of his nation at heart. From north to south, east to west, he is the only one that has rejuvenated our infrastructure. Upon this project, commerce will thrive, revenue and employment will come. And lastly, reacting to that is Jagaban Olu, who says, the minute you see the name of the author of this article, Onduka Ujomo, you know he would lack truth and objectivity. And to another story, the governor of Zamfara State, Muhammad Matawale, has accused the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission boss, Abdurrashid Bawa, of demanding $2 million bribe from him to shelf the 70 billion naira corruption allegation against him. In an interview, Matawale said he has receipts of the conversation asking Bawa to consider also investigating the presidency instead of focusing solely on governors. Part of what he said is that it is not just to always blame governors. It is not only governors who have treasury. The federal government also has. What does the EFCC boss do to them? As he is claiming he has evidence on governors, let him also show the world evidence of those at the federal level. He continued to say that if he exits office, that if Bawa leaves office, people will surely know that he's not an honest man. I have evidence against him. Let him vacate office. I am telling you, within 10 seconds, probably more than 200 people will bring evidences of bribe he collected from them. He knows what he requested from me, but I declined. He requested a bribe of $2 million from me, and I have evidence of this. He knows the house we met. He invited me and told me the conditions. He told me governors were going to his office, but I did not. If I don't have evidence, I will not say this. Well, responding in a series of tweets, the EFCC is also asking Matawale to go ahead and provide the evidence he is claiming to have. And it says if Matawale will be taken seriously, he should go beyond cyber wrangling by spilling the beans, provide concrete evidence as proof of his allegations. And then he says, but despite the irritation of his phantom claims, the commission will not be drawn into a mud fight with a suspect under its investigation for corruption and unconscionable pillage of the resources of the state. Now, over to some reaction. Tofik is saying that why is it that it is when law enforcement agents are after them that they suddenly have evidence against the agency? Why didn't he say this before? And is the one asking EFCC to probe Buhari's ministers. Comrade Okeke is saying that, but when it comes to all these politicians, tell me how many has the EFCC convicted that are in jail? We are really playing in this country. For a governor to accuse the EFCC boss, I believe they have something they are hiding. And also commenting on that is Chijoke Godwin, who says, we don't expect the system to come on Twitter to be making case for the boss. If the EFCC must maintain his reputation at this time, the best thing to do is for the chairman to step aside and submit himself for investigation in the face of this serious allegation. And Blessed is thinking that everyone must be probed. We don't need or we don't trust any of you. Both Matawale and your chairman should be probed because the level of corruption under this regime is the worst the world has ever seen.
So guys, corruption and the rate of killings in Nigeria is one of the things that Buhari will be remembered for. This is a man that promised to fix Nigeria. He has ended up destroying Nigeria. Now he has left for Kastina, taking so much packages with him as a former president, while Nigerians are thrown into hunger, I mean into poverty. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.